Good morning, Kennedy. My name is Rachel Nasson, and I am the coordinator of school elections for the Kennedy Student Government. It is my pleasure to welcome you to today's virtual elections assembly. Today, you will hear speeches from the candidates for Student Government President and Vice President and for class officers. First, we begin with the candidates for Student Government President and Vice President.
Hi, my name is Nikki Rosen, and I am so excited to be broadcasted before you asking for your vote for Kennedy Student Government President. When I came to Kennedy almost 3 years ago, I didn't know what to expect. It was a new school, a bigger school than I was used to, and it had a lot of unknown faces. I was that freshman who had my first class on the 3rd floor and my next class on the 1st floor, on the opposite side of the school. So yes, I got lost. Yes, I was late for class, and yes, I was in rooms with all new faces. To find my place here, I committed to getting involved, and one of the first steps I took was joining student government. Since that first day, freshman year, I have served as a senator for 2 years, and this past year was the social media coordinator on the executive board. I have been a chair for the school's site-based committee working with students, parents, and administration. I have also been a member of the leadership program for 2 years, Kickline for all 3 years, and an active member of many of our clubs. The more I got involved in Kennedy, the more I felt connected, and I very quickly learned that Kennedy was not a huge, scary place. It was a community of teachers and peers who want me to be successful. This past year has been one that no one could have imagined. With quarantines, remote learning, and limited interaction with our friends, we all tried to find the silver lining. We did lose a lot. We didn't have homecoming or class night, and the list goes on. As a result of these uncontrollable factors, there has been a feeling of disconnectedness leading to a decline in Kennedy school spirit. This is why next year, as your student body president, I will focus on rebuilding our spirit and our community, putting an emphasis on student well-being, and ensuring that everyone's voice is heard. Kennedy is a unique environment, being that we are the only school in our district mixed between Merrick and Belmore. Spirit Week is one of the best times at Kennedy, as it unites us all as a student body. I remember as a freshman seeing everyone dressed up in outrageous outfits and the smiles that followed. I remember going to our homecoming pep rally and cheering for our football team. And while our administration has done a fantastic job trying to hold some of these events, the pandemic has made it hard to keep these events as they were. Next year, I want Kennedy to go all out. I want Kennedy to bring back the spirit that made us a community. I promise to go all out for you and want you to do the same for our school. I want us all to get involved, and together we can show Cougar Nation the most spirit it's ever seen. I want us to have programs that bring an ice cream truck to our school campus and have a portion of the proceeds donated to a charity of our choice. I want us to have theme days and more movie nights. My next focus is on student well-being. It can be overwhelming to be a student here. Kennedy is a very rigorous school. This is why next year, I believe we need to work with the school administration to advocate for student mental health. Every year, the Health and Wellness Center runs a week called Wellness Week. While the student body loves this, I believe it would be more beneficial to have Wellness Wednesdays every week. This may be a virtual Wednesday every other week, lightened homework loads, or even just taking 5 minutes at the start of a period to breathe and remember that one test is not going to dictate your whole future. Finally, we have an incredible opportunity for Kennedy and all its students to benefit from more student involvement in KSG. We wouldn't be what it is today without the people who have committed their time to making Kennedy a better place. From the executive board to the senators, to the General Assembly, and finally the rest of the school community. Our school government needs to create more open dialogue with the school community. Things like spirit days and movie nights shouldn't just be selected by executive board, but by all of us. One simple way I will ensure you can contribute and make a difference is by utilizing an online platform for students to share their ideas on how to improve Cougar Nation. Everyone in the school community is a part of KSG. While it's clear that there are many challenges and changes ahead, I know that together, we all have the opportunity to make every day amazing. So, as you cast your ballots, I would like you to think back to your first day of freshman year. Think of the fear you felt entering this new place and think about how far you've come. We have all been in that same situation, and everyone has gotten here today, and learned how amazing the Kennedy community is. We are resilient, and when we come together, we do amazing things. With me as president, next year will be full of all the memories we missed this year and so much more. So remember, vote Nikki Rosen for KSG president.
Hi, my name is Lila Schechner, and I'm running to be president of Kennedy Student Government. The last 12 months, so much has been taken away from all of us. Every person listening to this speech has been affected by COVID in one way or another. Some of us just lost a school year, others lost loved ones. 2020 will be a year none of us will ever forget. As your next president, I plan on taking back our time, our fun, and everything we are due. As president, I will be the biggest advocate in making the 2021-2022 school year the most extraordinary year yet to come. Upon walking into the doors of Kennedy High School, I knew student government was the place for me. As a freshman and sophomore, I was an elected senator. While working with committees, students, and faculty, the skills I learned taught me how to navigate all the complexities of student government. Every objective I planned, I accomplished. What you should know about me is that I lead by example and I listen to those around me. This year, I was chosen to be Community Service Co-Coordinator. I have planned events like toy drives where we collected 100+ toys and personally delivered them to Cohen's Medical Center. I have also spearheaded events like Safe Halloween, Penny Wars, and various fundraisers. Not only do I hold the knowledge of all the inner workings of student government, but I also carry them out with strength. I know how we organize, I know how we plan, and I know how we execute events. I've been a leader for as long as I could remember. I know what it takes to have an organized system and how to collaborate as a team. I am efficient and meticulous while also being creative and innovative. I am able to not only produce the traditional events we have every year, but also help in creating new ones to come. Now, this year is going to be our year. I am ready and excited to always strive for the very best results of our members and club overall. Next year, I will be an active listener of the student body. Whatever you want, you will get. As president, I am going to implement a suggestion box accessible at all times for all students. This will be your opportunity to be heard. You will not only have leadership that cares about your thoughts and ideas, but is ready to put them into action. Additionally, I have my own amazing ideas that I would love to administer once elected into office. One of the first proposals I have are grade-wide beach days at the end of the year. You could play beach volleyball with all your teachers or play tug-of-war in the sand with your friends. Secondly, I will be working with guidance and administration in making Wellness Wednesday a permanent event. This would be one Wednesday a month with absolutely no homework or tests the next day. As president, I will work with local restaurants to offer students discounts on this night. And what says Wellness Wednesday other than Applebee's or La Piazza? My last idea I am going to share is making Spirit Week 2 weeks out of the year. I'm sure after this year we will all need a lot more time together having fun. So, traditionally the first week leading into homecoming, but a second leading into class night. I know this would cause more widespread spirit to get Kennedy roaring again. My ideas for next year honestly never end, and I know I have the capability to make it unforgettable. I know how impacted all of us were by this year. We had a hard time adjusting to the changes of our community and world. I am ready to lead all of you into the 2021-2022 school year with excitement and passion. I know how excited each and every one of you are to get out and be kids again. With me as your president, we will be living every day to the fullest. I can assure you not one moment of next year will be wasted. So, vote me, Lila Schechner, for president of Kennedy Student Government.
Hi, my name is Victoria Delaio, and I'm running to become the vice president of student government. I believe we need change and adaptation in this new, weird, crazy world we're living in today. With the pandemic in the final stretch, there's only so much we can do to maintain our sanity. One portion of a speech from Amanda Gordon is, "It doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect, but we are striving to forge a union that has purpose." And I want to take that idea and make that happen within the spirit and participation in Kennedy. I am an optimistic, accountable, and determined candidate who is a huge fan of interconnectedness and a comfortable atmosphere. You are probably asking yourself, why me? Well, I've been a senator in student government since my freshman year. When I came into Kennedy, I had no idea how impactful student government was. I just saw how much fun all the events looked on social media. Anyways, I was placed in a program called the mentoring program, which assigned a student to a teacher. The point of this was that the teacher would be there for the students for advice and support. My mentor was the one and only Mr. Seidman, and he introduced me to student government. He encouraged me to run for Senate so I could have a voice for my class and be a part of something with purpose. It was the best decision I could have ever done. I then served on the executive board for the past 2 years, as well as the events committee. I now am one of the 2 event coordinators, and from experience, I believe student involvement is critical to creating the change we need in both the student body as well as society. I know that this year is not like our past Kennedy experiences, with not having a homecoming and a class night, but we are facing adversity now. And because of this, I am not discouraged or fearful of not having the best year we can have. For example, having strict guidelines to follow for our safety and health made me think outside the box. And with help from my committee, we came up with the idea of having a field day, which would be an outdoor class night. Instead, it would be a day of no classes. It's a day of interconnectedness, sportsmanship, and just fun. Even though it was not able to happen this year, why not do it next year? Have a class night in the winter in the gym, and then have a field day in the spring. I know I love the competition between the classes and the determination of winning and having a good time and getting dressed up with all my friends. So why have limited fun? We could do it all because that's what Kennedy does. I want to hear all your ideas that you have so I can help make the upcoming school year the best it can be. From this situation, we are given the belief that creating a better school community comes from within the student body. I know my experiences, my passion, and my work ethic will enable me to effectively work with all of you and create the change we all desire to see. So vote me, Victoria Delaio, for Vice President of Student Government, and thank you for your time.
What makes a leader? Is it the person who is a good decision maker? The one who speaks out against essential issues? The one that will always put in 100% effort? That's possible, but what makes that leader stand out from all the others? What makes you different? Hi, my name is Sami Einbinder, and I am running for your 2021 to 2022 Kennedy Student Government Vice President. I am a leader, and I want to be your voice that makes a difference. Since I first entered the doors here at Kennedy, I knew that I wanted to make a difference here. I was quickly presented with many leadership opportunities as a freshman and became more involved in the Kennedy community each year. During my time in the BMCHSD community, I have been involved in various activities such as the Belmore Merrick Ambassadors, to working with the Nassau County Youth Council, to being the Vice President of the class of 2022, to Student Government Senate, and that's just to name a few. I truly have enjoyed every second of helping my school and my community, and I know that my efforts will continue to be worthwhile as I have made and will keep making a difference. As your Vice President, I plan to assist the President with her responsibilities and provide assistance to the other board members, as well as organizing fundraisers and events. My Kennedy student government journey may not be the most adventurous. However, I have done countless hours of behind-the-scenes work with executive board members whenever I can. For those of you that know me, you always see me in the leadership classroom, and I'm always willing to help out. I started off as a General Assembly member, worked hard throughout my freshman year, and developed relationships with many club members. As a sophomore, I continued to be very active in student government as a General Assembly member and worked alongside many executive board members again. When junior year came around, I earned my spot on the Student Government Senate, and I knew for a long time that when my senior year came around, I wanted to be on executive board. I wanted to do more, and I wanted to be the voice of the student body that is sometimes missing. As you may be able to tell, I am often confident when public speaking, and I believe that my ability to speak without hesitation is something that makes me different, something that sets me apart. With that being said, I have also worked countless times with our administrative team. I have developed a close relationship in speaking with them, and I know that will be beneficial regarding the communication of ideas or problems. I will continue to strive for the improvements in the school for every student here at Kennedy. The Kennedy Student Government works side by side with all of you in the administration to ensure that student events are successful and doable throughout the year. Given the circumstances next year, I hope to help the President bring back our well-known and loved events including Homecoming, Spirit Week, and Class Night. I assure you that next year will be memorable regardless of what happens. As Mr. Owenberg always says, it is crucial to make every moment count. We have all learned that our so-called normal lives can be taken away from us in the blink of an eye. I want to assure you that my remaining time at Kennedy is spent helping our community, making Kennedy an even better place than it already is, and not taking any of these precious moments for granted. As your Vice President, my goal for you is to reminisce about the amazing times that you have had in high school, and especially remember the time you have spent with student government. Please join me in making the upcoming school year unforgettable. Choosing me to be your Vice President, I promise to work very closely with the President, Mr. Seidman, and administration to guarantee a memorable year ahead. While none of us can predict what will happen next year, I know that whether we are remote, hybrid, or entirely in person next year, the Kennedy Student Government will continue to thrive and be amazing as always. Let's come together and make this year the best Kennedy High School has ever seen. I would love to be your choice for Vice President. If elected, I will continue to fight for the things that are important to us, the student body, no matter how big or small they may be. We should see the importance of every day at Kennedy as a memory made, something we learned that makes us even more dedicated, and an experience that you should take away under the sealed pages of your yearbook. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Kayla Stern and I'm running for Student Government Vice President. I first want to introduce myself a little bit. I am in ASR, Key Club, and Science Club at our school. I'm also in our leadership program, and I've been in student government since my freshman year. In student government, I currently hold the position of secretary. In this role, I attend all student government meetings, and I record what we discuss. Throughout this year, I've learned a lot about how student government functions and how we plan events and activities for our student body. And from this experience, I feel very prepared to take on the role of Vice President. But I've heard a lot of people ask what Vice President actually is, or what the difference is between Student Government Vice President and class officers. Well, as your Vice President, I would be representing our entire school rather than your respective grade. I will have more power in facilitating plans for Class Night, Homecoming, Gem the Gym, and other events which unfortunately could not happen this year. I will work to make sure that everything student government does, from fundraisers to clothing, appeal to a broad group of students in price range, product, or service. I will always listen to what you have to say, and I will always bring up your points at meetings. I will ensure that you, the student body, come first in our decision making and our planning. I believe that you don't have to be a member of student government to have a say. The purpose of student government is to serve you, so your opinion, feedback, and ideas are all very important. This year we held a town hall meeting where you were able to submit questions for Mr. Owenberg, and he responded to them. Well, I plan to implement these meetings on a more regular basis so that you can be heard not only by your student representatives, but by your school administrators too. In addition, a few months ago, student government created a Google form that we sent out to all of our members, and they were able to reflect on everything that we've done this year. Well, I think it would be a great idea to make this form available to all students all year round so that you can provide feedback anonymously. We all know that school can be stressful, and I believe a great way to counteract this stress is through having something to look forward to during the school day. All students should at least try to participate in school-wide events, spirit days, and other activities. I think we should have more spirit days throughout the year, and these don't only have to be dress-up days. We can have activities, sports contests, and competitions for prizes throughout the day. As Vice President, I will promote school spirit through publicity, like fun videos, so that you're aware of what's going on and excited for our upcoming events. I want all of you to have good memories of your years at Kennedy. School isn't only about the work, and you should think of our school as a safe, welcoming place. I know a lot of you are involved in clubs like SAD, HOPE, and DEI, or Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and all of these clubs push really important messages within our school and community. As Vice President, I plan to collaborate with these clubs in sponsoring school events, just like we did for our virtual pep rally with DEI, and I believe this will help make our school more inclusive, it will empower all of our students, and it will promote our well-being. This past year has been a hard time for all of us. If elected, I promise to work my hardest to make up for all that we missed out on in this past year and make the next year even better. If you want to see positive changes in the 2021-2022 school year, then please vote for me, Kayla Stern, for Student Government Vice President. Thank you.
Next, here are the speeches for candidates for Class President, Vice President, Secretary, and Treasurer.
Hi, my name is Jamiernstein and I am running to be your junior class president for the 2021-22 school year. I hope to be given the chance to assist our grade in making sure we use our short amount of time left to its fullest potential. With me as your leader, I can guarantee success for our class. For those of you who don't know me, I'm extremely organized, hardworking, and determined. I have goals and ideas for our grade that I'm confident I can make a reality. I plan to team up with the other officers to achieve these goals. I will assist the Vice President in planning informational meetings for junior class at least once a month to keep you all up to date on the latest. I will work with the treasurer to plan fundraisers to raise money for our class. Some fundraisers that I have in mind include, but are not limited to, Chipotle, Moe's, Sobel, and selling grade sweatshirts. Always know that I am open to your ideas and am more than happy to take suggestions. I would also continue the fundraising committee that was created this year to help us out. I want to work with the secretary to make sure that there are opportunities for each of you to get club credits through junior class and to update our grades Instagram with digital flyers to promote fundraisers, announcements, and meetings. I plan to accomplish this list of goals by meeting with the officers and Mrs. Rojas frequently. I also want to keep a Google form for suggestions so you guys can recommend ideas that you have to improve our grade. I can assure you that I will make sure everyone who wants to have a say in decision making will be able to. I want to make our junior year unforgettable and add some fun to what most would consider the most stressful year of high school. We need change, and it all starts with me. So when filling out your ballot, vote Jamiernstein for president, because I promise you will not regret your decision. I wish the best of luck to the other candidates, and thank you for your time.
Hello, sophomore class. My name is Anthony Torrey, and I'm running for class president re-election. This will be my third year running, and quite honestly, I've had an amazing time working with everyone. I've been able to get to know classmates while simultaneously working to create an enjoyable school experience, which, for me, it sells the job. I'm not going to come up here and say that this role is an impossible workload that can be managed by me and me only, because it's not true. I know a multitude of people that are listening to me right now are most likely smarter than me, but what I do bring to the table is leadership. Being a class officer requires the ability to work with others and effectively collaborate while creating an impact that will be noticed by others. However, being class president is for me, and for me only. If you didn't laugh at that, you could go ahead and walk out. But, I'm also not going to pander to you about COVID, because I'm sure everyone's tired of hearing about it by now. However, it's undeniably created issues for fundraising, either slowing or stopping the process completely. It's also created challenges for communication, as we have not been able to hold any in-person club meetings because we're a massive club. Realistically, I'm qualified for this role because I have 2 years under my belt and experience on how to work with groups on a large scale. My plan in a hopeful return to normalcy next year is that, we could get things back on track and ensure the prom will be a blast. And also so when people's parents have to hand over their credit card numbers and the 3 digits on the back, it won't be too expensive. Now, for this to be feasible, I rely on your vote and participation so we could get things back up and running next year. And also to make sure that prom and the time leading up to it will be as fun as possible. So, thank you all for your time.
Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Benjamin Greco, and I'm the current sophomore class vice president, and I'm running for re-election as junior class vice president for next year. First off, I would like to thank Mr. Owenberg and the entirety of the Kennedy staff for doing such an amazing job managing our school during the pandemic. I think I speak for all of us in that I'm incredibly grateful that many of us have been able to be in school for a majority of the year. While things still aren't normal, and probably won't be for some time, we've begun to get back on the path to business as usual. With this, I envision next year as truly being a transition into an attempt at a return to a normal school year. As your Vice President, my aim is to ensure that many of the school year's typical events, like Safe Halloween, Class Night, and others, will happen as normally as possible next year. In addition, making sure that sports and other extracurriculars return to their regular schedule and activities is a priority for me. While I can't guarantee everything will be completely routine, I can say with certainty that I will do everything in my power to make sure that everything goes back to as standard and normal as possible while keeping everybody safe and healthy. I also know that many of you were disappointed with the lack of ordinary around Kennedy this year, but I will make sure that this is no more. If you give me the opportunity to continue my role as Vice President, I will make certain that all is done to bring back what high school should look like. Football games in autumn, with the champ program selling delicious food while the band plays Eye of the Tiger. Kennedy's Hall still being filled after 2:05 as students make their way to in-person activities. Eating lunch in the cafeteria without being worried that dividers are obstructing your conversation. As Vice President of the junior class, I promise you I will do everything in my power to bring these things back better than ever before. So, who's with me? Who's ready for things to just be routine again? Normal, standard, ordinary. If that's you, then vote Ben Greco for junior class Vice President. Go Cougars, and thank you.
Hi, my name is Paige and I am running to be your junior class vice president for the 2021-22 school year. I believe I would be a great vice president for our class and will help make a positive impact. There are many reasons why I'm a good candidate. For example, I feel I am a leader and I have the ability to work well with others. After the crazy and unexpected year and a half we have experienced, I would love to see things return to as much normalcy as possible. With that being said, I would like to be involved in many activities as well boost our school spirit again. As we approach our junior year of high school, it is clear we don't have much time left. I think our school spirit is extremely important, and I, for one, have lots of spirit that I would love to share with all of you. Another reason I would make a great vice president is because I have been very involved in this club and see what's going on in our class. Recently, I became part of the fundraising committee, which is a very significant part of this club. As a committee, we have come up with many enjoyable ideas to raise money, such as restaurant partnerships with fan favorites like Chipotle and Moe's. We are also creating a new line of class apparel. In addition to that, I have many ideas of my own to help raise money, like trivia night, raffles, and a car wash. Not only am I going to try to make these things happen, I will attempt to make them as exciting as possible. Another quality I have that makes me a good leader is I have experience working with others. Throughout my years of both middle school and high school, I have been a part of the cheer team as well as the softball team. My experience on these teams has taught me both leadership roles and how to work well with others. I think working with others is an important quality for a vice president to have, and I bring lots of experience to the table. Being vice president of our class is something I would love to achieve. I think I can help our class move in the right direction. If you vote for me, I can assure you all that the other elected officers and I will work together to make our year as fun as possible. So vote for me and let's have a great junior year together. Thank you.
Hello everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ethan Lito and I am running for treasurer for the class of 2023. A good treasurer is someone who wants to help out in the financial end of any business. During the last 2 years, I appreciate the trust and confidence you all have given me as I'm dealing with the entire financial balance of the class. It would be a disservice to not bring up the current situation in the world. For the last year, we've all been living through a first of our time, and I'm sure a first for everyone around us. It's been a trying time for the last year, and we haven't had the experiences we should have as a class. Working with the other officers, I will make sure that next year we will be back to some sort of normal and be able to enjoy all the things and be able to raise funds as a class. I hope I earned your vote for treasurer. Mask up, stay safe, have a great day, Kennedy.
Hi, I'm Sam Schneider, and I'm running for class treasurer. As class treasurer, I'll organize more fun activities and create fundraising opportunities to make as much money as possible towards senior year and, of course, prom. This year was rough, especially with all the COVID restrictions, but one way to bring the class of 2023 together is to revive our Instagram account. Our class Instagram is very much inactive with one lonely post, but with me as one of your class representatives, I'll make sure to bring it back to life and use it as a way to keep everyone up to date with new events. I'm willing to come up with creative ideas no matter what restrictions are set in place next year to make as much money and class points as possible. We need to make up for the last 2 years in a big way. So vote for me and I'll get it done.
Hello everyone, my name is Matthew Wallace and I'm running for the position of junior class treasurer. If you do indeed decide to vote for me, I feel there are a few things I could do to help ensure that you have the best years possible next year. Since I'm running for the position of class treasurer, I will obviously need to do my job in regards to finances. However, I think it would be a waste of time if it was the only thing I do. At some point in our lives, I'm pretty sure we've heard the phrase, make the most of your high school years, or something along the lines of that. You may have heard that so many times that you don't even think about it anymore, it just goes straight through your head. But I feel this is a very important message. With that being said, I believe I can be someone who makes the most of their position and makes nights such as class night and sometime down the road prom as most memorable as possible. Because that's things you look back on high school and I think it's very important. So why not make the most of the opportunity? To round things up, I hope you vote for me and thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.
Hi everyone, my name is Alexis and I am running for secretary of the junior class. These past 2 years I have been fortunate enough to be secretary and take on a significant role in leading our class. As we all know, this year and the end of freshman year have not been normal to say the least. My goal is to look back on these 2 years and work to make this year the best one yet. As secretary of our class, I will use my position to establish new ideas and activities that will allow everyone to get involved. My job as secretary is always a priority of mine that I am dedicated to doing efficiently. I also would love to use my role to hear your ideas and opinions so that I can advise and develop ways to incorporate them. Being secretary to me means that I represent all members of the junior class, which is exactly why your thoughts mean so much to me. Despite these difficult times, this year we have been able to work together to continue to have meetings and hold donations for charities. I was so happy to be able to drop off the socks that we collected together at Hope for Youth. We have also collected food for Thanksgiving and pajamas for young children. For the 2021 to 2022 school year, making these contributions as well as having more entertaining events is so important to me. As you have now heard, I am running for secretary for many reasons, but my main reason is that I love doing this job. I want you all to know that I am not in it for the title of being secretary, but to use my position to be able to work with all of you and make these tough times just a little easier and this new year a lot more fun. You all have a decision to make right now. I know that for a lot of you, it is just going to take a few seconds of your time to choose a name and make the choice for whom your vote will be. But as you make your decision, please keep in mind how hard I've worked over these years to take on this title. Your few seconds have been my 2 years of working to hang flyers around the school, making presentations for upcoming meetings, making lists of every person's name who is in our class club, tallying points for your participation along with making an accurate point system with the help of Mrs. Rojas, and planning and organizing events to making our class and club fun. I take this role very seriously and would love the opportunity to prove to all of you for a 3rd year why having me as secretary is the best decision for all of you. Thank you. The best of luck to all the candidates. On May 5th, in addition to voting for those elected positions, you will also vote for up to 6 classmates to represent your class in the Student Senate. Here are those candidates. Congratulations to all. Elections will take place in social studies classes on May 5th. Have a great day, candidate.